this cop just punched her on the face. She was bleeding. There was cops running down my street, like towards my house with like... Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a story time. From the title, you probably already know what this is about, and I just want to say that, like, I'm not saying that cops are bad. I'm not saying that I hate cops. I'm gonna be saying the story as I remember it, and I remember it very clearly because it was very traumatizing. It's all real, like none of this is made up. I'm just saying the story how I remember it, just how everything happened this day. Don't get me wrong here, but this is hard because I know there's like right now there's a lot of and actually when this happened was when like all of this like thing with cops started happening. But like, I'm not saying that all cops are bad, like obviously they're not. Some of them just like kind of abuse their power, and then some of them do their job how it's supposed to be done. I've interacted with cops that do their job, they're nice, they're polite, and I've interacted with cops that are not at all. I'm not going one way or the other. I'm just telling the story how it happened. Alright, let me see. Okay, so I'm not gonna give you guys the link to this because it has my address on it, but I'll like add a screenshot of it and just like block my address out of it. This is my opinion, like how I saw it, how I experienced it. When this happened, I was 14. Like, I was a couple days away from my birthday. I was 14. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys remember things from when you were 14. Like, I remember this, especially something this big, like I remember it really well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say first what the newspaper wrote, the story that they put out there like on the news, and then I will say like how I saw it, and maybe while I'm saying what is on here I will correct it, kinda just tell you if it's true or not. Alright, so first of all, how they described it is as a group of confused people. By the way, this was a New Year's Eve party, so I guess it was confusing because there was people inside my house who were just trying to have a good time, and then out of nowhere they hear some like screaming and they hear cops. So I guess it was confusing for us, and I guess it was confusing for the cops too because the story wasn't accurate. 3 people ended up arrested, my opinion, for no good reason. On the paper it says police struggled to break up a large party of a bunch of revelers that became aggressive, throwing bottles and striking officers. No one... Okay. According to police, one of my neighbors called them, complaining about the noise, that it was too loud. I mean, it's a New Year's Eve party. Okay, this is wrong. It says that we were setting off fireworks. First of all, like, we were just not. Like, my backyard door was closed the whole entire time. No one was setting fireworks. It's just wrong. Like, no one was setting fireworks, so that part is wrong. So the person who filed this said that it was keeping her children awake, so I guess the fireworks were keeping your children awake, and that was not us. The music, I don't think it was that loud. Okay, so this is where it starts. So apparently a police officer pulled up to my house, and there was one person who was the person that the police officer talked to. They were smoking, like just cigarettes. It says that the police told him multiple times to turn the music down and that he wasn't listening. After multiple times saying that they wouldn't turn it down, they decided to arrest them. Over here they're trying to say that they refused to come in to turn the music down, and that once they decided to arrest them for refusing, that they became aggressive. I didn't see this with my own eyes, but like other people did, and this is what happened. This person was outside, he was smoking, he had just started smoking, and the cop pulled up. He asked him to turn the music down, and he said, okay, I will once I'm done here. And apparently the cop kept asking him. He said, I will once I'm done. It wouldn't take that long. But I guess the cop wanted it then and wanted it immediately. Then when the cop was going to arrest him, let me see if it says it here. Over here it says that they became aggressive first, and then one of the cops pulled out a taser. I'm not aware of him being aggressive. It's kind of obvious if someone's about to taser you, it's human, like you react to it. You don't want to get tasered, you don't stand there. And then he went back in, which makes sense. I guess the aggressive part, I'm not aware of that. They put it in here. One of the cops wrote that the people at the party, so like my family, friends, put themselves at the door so that the cop could not come in. I mean, they couldn't come in without a warrant, right? What I remember is that once the taser thing happened, people who saw it got scared. Obviously, you're gonna get scared if you just seen that. People went towards the windows and the door to see what was going on. Due to that, apparently, police on duty from my town, police from a university from here, and 2 other towns came to my house. That's a lot for one house. Keep in mind that this was a New Year's Eve party. No one was doing anything wrong. This was a family party. It was New Year's Eve. 3 towns, like police from 3 towns on duty to my house, 1 floor. Nothing illegal was going on. Like, they couldn't find anything illegal. It was just people having a good time dancing, and people, obviously like older people, drinking, which is normal. It's a New Year's Eve party. I guess the cops kept trying to arrest the same person from like the beginning of the story. The same person. It says here that they continued to try to make an arrest on the porch, but apparently there was people surrounding him. A cop said that as he continued to get closer to make the arrest, several people blocked him. So he said that him and another police officer handcuffed the same person, the guy from the beginning. He said that he used his baton, I don't know, B-A-T-O-N, to keep the other people back. So if you don't know what that is, it's the stick that cops have. Okay, and then over here is when they bring up that someone threw broken glass at the officers. I didn't see anyone throw anything. I just saw that a cup fell and shattered. Oh, okay, so they did add this part, which was the part that was so wrong. Okay, so when everyone was at the door, obviously everyone was at the door, they wanted to see what was going on, they were scared. So when everyone was at the door, my aunt, she had not had a single drop of alcohol. Like, she had not drank at all. She was just there. She's one of the owners of the house. She was there trying to fix the problem, and for no apparent reason, this cop just punched her on the face, like on the nose, and it broke. She was bleeding. It's just things like this that made everyone scared and made everyone so alarmed. So they said here that during the struggle, a woman was struck on the nose and she was taken to the hospital, which is true. It says here that another woman yelled at the female officer because it was a female officer that punched her. Then that's when people started screaming at the cops. Obviously, there was no reason to punch anyone at that moment. It says here after the one person got arrested, people were still agitated, and that is because my aunt got punched in the nose and she was bleeding, like a lot. And a second person comes in, like from the party. It says that this one person tried to attack an officer and that he was held back by another man. I did not see this. I can't say anything about it. In the police report, it says that they tried to get all the cops, keep in mind, cops from 3 towns and cops from one of the universities around here were at my house, one single house. They tried to get in. The cop that was writing the report said that as he was trying to come in, there was around 20 people total trying to push him out of the house. And it says that everyone was screaming and yelling that they could not come in. I don't know. I'm gonna look this up, but I don't know. I don't think they could come in. I don't know. I don't think it was their right to come in. They had arrested the person that they wanted to arrest, and we had put the music down. People were scared. Like, that's the thing. People were scared. There was a ton of cops. There was one person from my family bleeding so much. There was already one person arrested. There was cops outside my door pushing, trying to come in. And around that time, incidents about cops killing innocent people started rising. So it makes sense. It makes sense for everyone to be scared at this time, considering all the factors. So here's where the third person who got arrested comes in. So apparently, as the cops were trying, or as the officers were trying to come in, this third person was trying to block them. So in this part, it says that the third person was in the way, blocking them from coming inside, and that she claimed that she was not. I do know what happened here. So if you watch my first video, you know I'm Colombian. My family, all of them actually speak Spanish. Their first language is Spanish, and they obviously know English, like they live here. My cousin, which is the third person, she was trying to like talk to the officers, because there was the cops screaming, and there was like people from my house from the party screaming. Like, that was not gonna turn out good. It obviously didn't, as one person was already hurt and 2 people were already arrested. So the third person, my cousin, she was trying to talk to them. She was trying to tell them to talk to her, because she knew English well, to tell her what they wanted, so she could say it back to my family and the house owners. Like, obviously one of the house owners is already bleeding in the ambulance, but there was another house owner, so she was just trying to help. Basically, she was just trying to help, and they did not see that. So apparently, as this was happening, one of the officers reports that while they were at the door, while this was going on, while my cousin was at the door, apparently they were seeing bottles being thrown like towards the door, basically towards them. I don't recall that. I already said that I remember a glass. Like, I didn't see anyone throw it. I just remember seeing a glass hit the floor and shatter once. And keep in mind, I was at the door. I was around there. I was there. The police officer says that as she tried to push by, this person screamed. My cousin, the third person, screamed and threw her arms out at her, hitting her arms and her body. So what they're saying here is that third person, my cousin, was at the door. The officer tried to push in. My cousin put her hands out and like put them on her, blocking the entry into our home and forcing her back. That's what it says here. Alright, so over here it says that the cops were telling everyone to get out of their way so they could come in and get everyone out. Several of the people in the party said that they were afraid to leave because they were afraid that they would shoot them. It basically just says the charges that the 3 people got. Let me just go over those, and then I'll add my part and finish up. The first person, which was the person that started out outside, got charged with 2 counts of assault and battery on a police officer. The second person, which was the guy that they said they had really little about him here. They just said that he was trying to attack the officer and that someone was holding him back. He got charged with assault and disorderly conduct. And the third person, which was my cousin, got charged with assault and battery on a police officer and disturbing peace, as she was trying to make peace. They all pleaded not guilty, clearly, because they were not. So let me just say my story really quickly. So I already said the beginning of the part. The one guy was outside. They told him to come in and tell people to put the music down. He said, I will when I'm done, because he had just started, or he was finishing up. Completely understandable. He didn't listen, and they attempted to arrest him. They took out a taser gun and attempted to shoot at him. He moved away from it and he came back inside. When he came back inside, people who had seen what happened and people who he told what happened started getting scared. People went towards my windows from my porch and towards my door to see what was going on. police called backup from, they had police on duty for my town and 2 other towns and a university nearby, like the campus police. Since they called so many people, there was cops running down my street, like towards my house with like, I think it was the sticks in their hand and like their hands on their weapons, which is part of the reason why people were scared. They were acting like we had something illegal. I don't know why they needed so many people, because that just made everything worse. So I already said what happened with my aunt. She had to get surgery to get her nose fixed. There was blood everywhere, which just frightens everyone so much more. There was 3 arrests total. I already explained like my side of it. Okay, so now they didn't add this into the report or like the newspaper, but they made their way in. They barged in. They pushed through everyone. I don't know if that's illegal. You guys can let me know. I don't really know about this. I think that they needed a warrant, or I don't know if they had a reason or they made a reason they would be allowed to. My room had, all the little kids were in my room. They were scared. They were crying. They were just, I hope that they don't remember this because it was scary. So when the cops barged in my house, I remember seeing some of them with their hands on their weapon and some of them with the baton, the little stick in their hand. I don't know if they're allowed to do that. I don't know. They checked my whole floor. They were looking for something. I don't know what they were looking for. They were looking for something to charge us with. They found, this is what they found. They found nothing. There was nothing wrong. There was nothing bad in my house. There was no fireworks. There was no drugs. There was nothing. They found nothing. So they just barged in, looked everywhere. They were literally trying to find something. They opened my door, my room door, so hard. I remember there was like, I think one of my grandmas was in there with the kids. They opened it so hard. All the kids were so scared. They saw nothing. They closed it back up. They went into every room. They searched my house and found nothing. It was traumatizing. Like, I had to talk to a school teacher when this happened. So I just want to know what you guys think of this. First, like, one thing is that what they wrote, a lot of it was wrong. 2, I want to know if you guys think that, I don't know if you know the laws or something. I don't think that they were allowed to do this, but I want to know if they were or not, to come into my house and look everywhere. And 3, just let me know what you think of this whole situation. It was 5 years ago, and you guys know that, like, I remember clearly that around that time was when all the police controversy began, and like there was cases of like people of color getting killed and stuff. So that was just part of why everyone was so scared. I just want to know what you guys think of this whole situation. I told you their side of it, like what police reported, and I told you what my side of it was, what I saw with my own eyes. So let me know what you think of this. And yeah, guys, so if you guys enjoyed the story time, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, share. I know that this video wasn't like upbeat, it wasn't happy, it wasn't games, it was just a story time, a sit down, something serious that happened. But I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys give me feedback on what you think of this. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.